So let's go through this reading. So the first thing is the Chariot. The Chariot is a card of travel. It is a card of success. It is also representative of pulling the two disparate energies within ourselves in order to have self-mastery over ourselves, to control our emotions, to redirect our life force in a way that is conducive for our higher growth and our higher purpose. Okay, this is a very, very amazing card to get, especially early on in the spread. For those of you who are familiar with my monthly readings, the first card out of the spread is usually residual energy coming through from the end of the previous month. So this is something that is coming through in October. It is something that you've always wanted, and for some reason you had to do some inner work on yourself in order to reapproach it, or in order to get the outcome that you want. And as a result of it, all that inner work, all that self-reflection, all that discipline that you've put yourself under is starting to pay off, okay? So for a lot of you, it might have been just, on the financial front, working very diligently, taking care of practical responsibilities in order for you to feel emotionally stable, financially stable, even to achieve the success, or to achieve, that sense of inner peace and stability that allows you to move forward with your life. A lot of this has come in October, and you're still riding high. You're still on that wave, and you're in a very good place, okay? With it, I do feel that some sacrifices, like short-term sacrifices, had to be made in order to achieve long-term stability. We have the Page of Cups in the reverse position. So pages are very young people who might not understand a lot about, delay gratification. So what I mean by this is it's sort of like, rather than you're basically maturing from a page energy to a king energy, where you are very in control of your emotions. You are very fixated on the long-term prize rather than short-term gains. So it can be on the financial front, where you are sacrificing, frivolous spending in order for you to accumulate, in order for you to have that financial base, to feel secure, and to have the money to do what you want in life, okay? So foregoing short-term pleasures for long-term success, long-term stability, long-term gains. This is a very, very potent energy. And this is what I mean by, pulling all these desires and sifting through to see what is like necessary in order to direct your life in the way that is that allows success. Okay, so you're in a very, very good place the first 2 weeks of November. I do feel a little bit of struggle coming through with another person coming in at the end of the month, but it's nothing that you can't overcome. And I do feel a lot of travel as well. For those of you who've been shifting back and forth, travel is coming through, and then traveling away, or traveling back, and then traveling away from a situation and or from a home environment. So once again, it is Thanksgiving. So a lot of you might have just, started your travels early, making the rounds to see people, feeling good, celebrating, and things like that. I do feel celebrations coming through. Seeing a lot of people that bring you a lot of emotional stability as well. And what I'm sensing as well is, by the end of the month, you possibly could be facing another bout of travel with the Six of Swords here, but you're going towards a very good place, so not to worry, okay? It's a very beautiful, almost like coming full circle type of energy. So it feels to me like this is very cyclical. It's happening, and then you're getting a lot of success, and then there's the sun energy, which corroborates the same theme. So it's kind of like the top row is echoing the images of the second row. So the first 2 weeks and the second 2 weeks are very similar thematically. So let's go through the spread here. For a lot of you, I feel that you might be on a break. We have the King of Cups here with the Temperance card. And this is socializing as well. Opportunities to meet with friends, to engage with people in a very casual, lighthearted manner, or also in a very emotionally rooted manner where you're feeling quite good about yourself. So you are reconnecting with old friends, and you're exchanging stories. And I do feel it's in a very social environment. We have the Three of Wands here, which indicate work. So it's in the reverse position. So some plans or something that you're hoping to launch, we have both the Two of Wands and the Three of Wands, meaning there is a project or something that is on hiatus. And as a result of it, you might have more time for you to do, leisure activities. Um, I feel that plans that are stalled or that are put on hiatus, it's for a good reason. It's not something that you're purposely doing, or it's not something that is imposed upon you from the external environment. In that, I feel that you're deliberate about putting this plan on hiatus, mainly because you've got the groundwork laid out with the Two of Pentacles, and you're escalating to a Three of Pentacles. So this is definitely something that you chose to leave and come back to at a later date, okay? Just make sure you get everything wrapped up by this month and don't wait too long, because I do feel, the plans are taking roots and they're sprouting. So you want to be, I guess, timing is going to be important for you by the end of this month, especially by like the 23rd. I'm sensing is when you need to come back to this and resolve this issue, okay? But you're going to be in a very good place. And as a water sign, you have a very intuitive sense of knowing when timing is right. So I feel that you will know when it's good to come back to this project, okay? And I feel like a lot of you might be dabbling in multiple projects. You're keeping yourself busy. You're expanding your social base as well. So I do feel a very beautiful celebratory energy, very laid back energy as well. Just make sure you don't stay in that spot for too long, get too comfortable, overdrink, overindulge, and things like that, okay? What's coming in after that is the Two of Wands. It's in the reverse position next to the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords indicates to me there is a plan, there is a proposal here. Someone is giving you an opportunity for work, and I do feel it is for work. Let's talk about the work first, and we can talk about romance in a little bit. So someone is offering you a proposal for work and you don't entirely trust it. So I do feel this person might not have, we have the Five of Swords, which is usually indicative of a victory at where it's like an empty victory. No one really wins. So there is somebody who has that type of behavior, or who exhibits that type of behavior, where they swoop in. It's not a reflection on their character as a person, but they might be in a shady work environment where their job description literally is that they swoop in when the opposition or when the other side is kind of decimated, and then they pick up the spoils of war. I don't feel they're a thief, but it could be a situation where, you flip houses for a living. And houses that are in that condition are usually like foreclosures. So it's not a good situation because, previous tenants have to be evicted before the person can come in, purchase the house, and flip the house. So that's just an example. But the person that you're associating with, or whoever it is that is offering you this proposal to work with them, to partner up with them, I feel they're in that kind of work environment, and you're trying to decide whether or not you want to dabble in it, because you feel as if financially you seem okay. You seem like you're in a good spot. I don't have a single Pentacles card, but I do have success cards, which indicates to me financially you're in a good place. So you feel that, maybe this isn't the right card job for me, because it's not really in alignment with my moral compass, my field of interest, because I don't want to be the one that that has to like do the cleanup after a messy situation. So you might just not want to do that anymore, okay? So you might have this proposal, but you're kind of like on the edge, straddling whether or not you want to continue in this line of work. I do feel as well, there is definitely other work opportunities that will be coming through for you that are more in alignment with your path and your own personal interests. Okay, we have the Sun card here, and in this deck it is a card about union. So for a lot of you, if you've been working very, very hard and you haven't had an opportunity to date, there's definitely dateable people around you, and you're going to encounter one of them that actually makes you feel very, very good. So I'm sensing a very strong fire energy. So this can be, you know, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. I'm sensing a very strong, vibrant energy. Somebody that will snap you out of your funk. Somebody that you meet in a social setting and then you just automatically click with. So I do feel that all the inner work that you've done for yourself to rein in, you know, your feelings and the disparate energies, the inner conflict, all of the time that you took out to introspect, to, you know, collect yourself, it's starting to pay off, because you're coming into a relationship feeling very whole. So new people that are coming through, especially for those that have been single, that have taken a lot of time to focus on work, to achieve worldly success, to work on yourself, to get yourself in a place where you're feeling emotionally very, very good. You are going to project that aura in the dating front, and you're going to feel quite good about yourself. Additionally, I have the Temperance card. I have 3 cards that are cup energies. So I just want you to be careful about overindulging in wine, you know, spirits, beer and things like that. Just overindulging in drinking. So just be careful about that. It's not coming in very strongly, but I do feel that it can play out in that way. Okay, so it can be a situation where you have a job interview and you're just so excited about getting this job interview, you go out and celebrate, and then you are hungover and you miss the job interview. So it can be one of those missed opportunities as a result of overindulgence. Just be careful about that. I don't have the Devil card, which indicates severe overindulgence, but I do feel that it can, if it's not checked early on, it can interfere in other ways down the line. Okay, so the Temperance card, once again, is a situation of it's balance and control. So there's definitely a fine line between reserving time for yourself to work on your resources, as well as reserving time for your partner. So there's a fine line here that you have to basically straddle, or you have to like manage, and you're going to be able to do that successfully. For those of you who are in a relationship as well with either fire sign, we have water sign, fire sign, and also an air sign. An air sign is Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. So I saw the Tower card in the reverse position, and I pulled out a card just to see who it pertains to or what it pertains to, and this air sign person showed up. So if you are in a relationship with an air sign, if you are caring for a child that might be of an air element, there's definitely some concerns regarding an air sign that you are going to have to, I guess, resolve sometime for this month. Okay, once again, I do feel that there is something, either a work project or a relationship, or like, you know, that new sense of passion revival in your life that you are procrastinating on resolving. So the 23rd would be the ideal date to do it. I don't know why, but that day is popping up. It would be a good time for you to do this and to resolve the situation so that you both can get clarity. Because as it stands, this relationship is on rocky foundation. Both parties know it, and it's inevitable that, you know, that is going to fall apart. So you want to do some damage control, you want to do some maintenance, and you want to figure out what direction you want to pursue with this air sign. Especially if it's a child, they might need your attention. If it's a love romantic partner, I feel that some type of a romantic partner, some type of a romantic situation, work project needs to be redefined or reestablished because the status quo is not working, okay? And this is a difficult choice, and you've been procrastinating on making this difficult decision. So this is the month for you to resolve this issue so that the other person can move on and that you can have the mental clarity to move on as well. I do feel that for those of you involved with an air sign, there might be, you know, travel opportunities coming back to see him or her. and then traveling away. So if there is an element of long distance associated with this, I do feel that this is it's something that is affecting the relationship, and it's something that you need to resolve. Okay, so I do have the Tower, which is a major arcana card. It also indicates, the foundation. The foundation is lacking in something. So you have a choice here. You can rebuild it on better foundation if there is discussion that needs to be had between both parties. Or you can decide for yourself, maybe this is too great of a cost for me to rebuild, and then you can let the other person move on to live their life, okay? But you can't procrastinate on this decision, and it is a decision that needs to be made by the 23rd. So sort things out, take all the time you need in order to socialize, have fun, or do whatever you feel that needs to be done. But then you have to come back and give this person an answer. Give this person something definite so that he or she, and you yourself, needs to do this out of courtesy, but also just for yourself so that you know where you stand, and then both parties are on the same page if you both decide to leave or if you both decide to stay and work at this project, okay? So for a lot of you, if you are single and on the dating front, I feel a lot of romantic interest. We have fire sign. A lot of people showing interest. We definitely have a fire sign and a water sign showing romantic interest. This air sign is a little bit ambiguous. So I feel that it could be a work partnership or it could be a love interest. But either way, you are showing up here as the Page of Cups and also as the King of Cups, which indicates to me possibly you are the one reaching out. And they might not be completely receptive. It seems as if they're moving on with their life. There's a lot of movement happening with this person. We have a lot of sword energies with the Six of Swords. We have the Tower, and then this person is overlaying all of it. So I do feel that there's a lot of movement happening in their lives, but you're kind of like at a standstill. So right now, it's a good time for you to, take some time off to think about what it is that you really want to achieve with this person and to move forward. If it's not going to work, there are other people out there that are interested in you. For those of you who are in established relationships, I definitely feel the same energy coming through. If things have been going really, really well, and you feel as if, this is a situation where whatever hasn't been, whatever, communication problems, whatever you've been dealing with like a stable romantic partner, that hasn't worked out too well, there's definitely a moment of, let's decide on what we can do. And I do feel for a lot of you, there is going to be separation happening where you leave one another in a very cordial, in a very civil manner. So I don't feel, full-blown fights and, kicking, screaming, door slamming. I don't sense any of that because I do feel that it is a very quiet month. Okay, so it comes in with a lot of success, with a lot of like hoof beats and just a lot of momentum, but it mellows out. It does mellow out by the end of this month, and you're going to be in a good place. For those of you who have been in troublesome relationships, you might be transitioning from like a water sign, another Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You might be socially dating, and then you end up with, somebody that actually turns your head, which is an air sign. So, there's like transitions between relationship partners, and you feel like, oh, I'm not jiving with this person, so let me move on to the next. And there's possibly a fire sign that makes you feel quite good. Makes you feel really, really good. They bring with them a lot of energy and a lot of momentum, a lot of dynamism to the relationship. But you feel like something might be missing with a fire sign. So as a result of it, you end up with the end of the month with an air sign. And, this can be somebody who's quite exciting, who's quite worldly, and they've got a lot on their plate too. So if you want a no strings attached type of relationship, that's what's coming through for you. So once again, going back to the work front and finances, I don't feel there are going to be financial issues because we have the Chariot and the Sun and also Temperance. So I feel that you have a pretty good rein on your spending, or at least, money is not going to be an issue this month. And no news is always good news in my book, especially when it comes to finances. With love, not so much, but with finances especially. I also feel that For a lot of you, you might just be working really hard in September, October. You're taking a little bit of a break. New projects are presenting themselves, and you're kind of like going through possibly from the 10th to the 20th, thinking about what project to take up next. Okay, so that's pretty much most of your month here, deciding on what you want to do, deciding on who it is that you want to rebuild things or to part ways with. So there's a lot of like decisions here. A lot of you might be in management position where if you're going through a downsizing, for example, you're kind of like sifting through the ledger and seeing who has been doing their work very diligently, and then you're trying to decide who you should keep and who you should let go. So it's a really good energy where you are the one making decisions. So just make sure you make the decisions absolutely by the 23rd. That would be my advice, okay? And as for this air sign, decide on what you want to do. But I do feel a very lighthearted energy coming through, and you're going to be in a good stead, okay? So let me give this a glance over and see what's going to happen here. See if there's anything I've left out. So what I'm going to do actually is we are ending here with the Six of Swords, and I do want to see where you're sailing off to. So you are sailing off to here, the Strength card. It's in the reverse position. So what I'm sensing here is that a lot of you are thinking about a new major shift, transition in your life, and you have been purposely delaying this next step. You're delaying the decision to do so, okay? And it's out of fear. It's out of, you know, lack of self-confidence, but I do feel you're in a good position here. But it's done out of fear. So you're delaying this, you're delaying it, and you're not really sure what you want to do. There might be some health issues coming through with the Strength card in reverse, as well as with the Tower. I definitely feel some health scare, some health issues coming through. Don't fear it. You're going to be okay. You're going to be well protected, okay? Because I do sense with Temperance and the Chariot, there might be some medication. There might be possibly dosages in medicine. So there could be, you know, just health situations that has you very worried and you don't know what you want to do. And as a result of it, you do want somebody by your side. So you might not scrap a relationship, mainly because you want that emotional support. And as long as you're clear about this to your partner, it shouldn't be a problem. But I do feel that if there are health issues, they are going to resolve themselves, or at least you are going to be able to get your mind off things for the first 3 weeks.